Hey YouTube, Son of Sanguinius here, and today we're going to be continuing our tactics videos, and right now we're going to be covering Captain Tycho and Tycho the Lost. So I figure for this one, considering it's more or less the same character, we can sort of do a 2-for-1 in this video. So as always, we're going to start with the stat breakdown, talk about some of the war gear and stuff like that, what the HQ might be good in, as far as what kind of squad to put them in. We're also going to compare differences between Captain Tycho and Tycho the Lost, as there are a couple key differences that Tycho experiences as he has fallen to the Black Rage. And then we're going to go over maybe how to use them overall, and really there's not too much to talk about here, which is kind of a shame, because Tycho is, for me anyway, one of the more interesting characters in the Blood Angels Codex. So, we're going to start with a stat breakdown, and Captain Tycho was up first. He's 130 points. We have Weapon Skill 6, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 3 Wounds, Initiative 5, 3 Attacks, Leadership 10, and a 2-up Armor save. Let's see here. For War Gear, he has Artificer Armor, Bolt Pistol, Frag and Crack Grenades, Digital Weapons, and an Iron Halo. His Warlord trait is Red Rampage. For those of you that don't know, that basically gives your Warlord the Rampage special rule. And for special rules, he has And They Shall Know No Fear, Furious Charge, Hatred Orcs, and Independent Character. He also has a Relic of Baal called Bloodsong, and it's a Combi Melta, essentially. It's range 24, strength 4, AP 4, rapid fire mastercrafted, so it's basically a rapid fire bolt gun with a pseudo Kraken round, although it doesn't have as much range. And then for the Melta part of it, it's an 18-inch range, strength 8, AP 1, assault 1, Melta, mastercrafted, one use only. So starting with Captain Tycho here, he's a cool character. And I like what they've done, incorporating some of the fluff and giving him, Hatred Orcs, and Bloodsong too is actually not that bad for what is more or less a basic captain, comparing, him to the regular captain. He is going to be good against Tyranids and Orcs and any other Xenos army that has primarily, 4-up saves or higher for a lot of their infantry. Obviously, with Tycho specifically, Orcs are probably going to be what you're going to use him the most for. Going up against things like Chaos Space Marines or Necrons or maybe even some Eldar, probably not going to be the best thing to do, simply because for 130 points, as we've already discussed, you can take a regular captain and put him in Terminator armor, power weapon, Stormbolter, the whole 9 yards, and frankly that is going to be more effective against a lot of the, higher tier armies, so to speak. Although, like I said, against Orcs or Tyranids, Captain Tycho can work. As far as what squad to put him in, perhaps Stern Guard, honestly, because he has that Strength 4, AP 4, 24-inch range, rapid fire mastercrafted bolt gun. So he can complement Stern Guard nice, and even though Stern Guard aren't necessarily designed for the charge, Captain Tycho can do some work. 3 attacks base, you figure +1 on the charge, okay, so that's 4. If the squad that you're charging has more models in it, you're going to get Rampage due to his Warlord trait, and of course Hatred Orcs. So really, Captain Tycho here, he can definitely do some work. You figure with Furious Charge and Weapon Skill 6, chances are you're going to be hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, 4 attacks, re-rolling if you're fighting Orcs, and you're also going to get Rampage, so that's D3 extra attacks. So Captain Tycho can be decent in close combat. Not the best, but decent. And this is where the uses for Captain Tycho kind of start going downhill a little bit, because while it's cool and it's fluffy, I've never really met or seen another Blood Angels player who actually uses Captain Tycho. I don't use Captain Tycho. I don't really know of anyone who actually uses Captain Tycho. It's not because he's not a cool character, and it's not because he doesn't have some interesting stuff. It's just, if you're not fighting orcs, why use him? And even if you are fighting orcs, there are some better options out there. I mean, comparing Captain Tycho and all he can do to, say, a librarian, or heck, even another captain, his uses are limited, and it's unfortunate that, you know, the way that 40k is now, that you know, the fluffiness doesn't really mean that he's necessarily the best choice. Moving on, we can now touch on Tycho the Lost, who is 145 points, so about a 15-point increase. And a couple of things to note about him, comparing Tycho the Lost to the regular Captain Tycho. He does have one more attack than the regular Captain Tycho. I didn't see it until I took another look at it. And he also has the 4 special rules that make Death Company great. He has Fearless, Feel No Pain, Rage, and Relentless. Unfortunately, he also has this Fall into the Black Rage special rule, which means that you can't include him in an army that already has Captain Tycho. You know, no time traveling shenanigans in your army, unfortunately. And Tycho the Lost can only join a squad of Death Company. And aside from that, most of the war gear and everything is pretty much the same. So really, the difference between Captain Tycho and Tycho the Lost is, for 15 extra points, he gains the Death Company special rules, but he can only join a squad of Death Company. So the real question between the two of these is, do you want your HQ, Tycho, in a squad of Death Company, or do you want him to be in something like Stern Guard or whatever? Honestly, for the points, I would probably opt to just go with Tycho the Lost, simply because for 15 more points, you're getting so many more special rules, you're getting an extra attack, and frankly, you're probably going to be rapid firing him. You're going to be you want to be charging with him. Because keep in mind, Death Company have Relentless, so even if you run a Death Company squad with nothing but, you know, standard bolt guns, you can still rapid fire into the enemy and then charge, and you're getting, let's see, 4 attacks base. He has Rage, so +2, that's 6. He still has the Red Rampage, so if you're charging an enemy unit that has more models, you're going to get D3 extra. I mean, the Tycho the Lost can put out a crazy amount of attacks when you think about it, and he's still weapon skill 6. Since he has Furious Charge, he's going to be strength 5. He can do some work. Now, granted, it's probably not going to be as effective as, say, a captain with a power weapon or a librarian with a force weapon and psychic powers, but Tycho the Lost can certainly do pretty well against, well, things like orcs and Tyranids and some other fairly high armor value, or high armor save, rather, units in the game. And so, overall here, it's really kind of a shame there isn't really too much to talk about here. Captain Tycho, good against orcs, decent against Tyranids, whether you go with Captain Tycho or Tycho the Lost. Again, the real difference is, do you want to throw him in with some Death Company, or do you want to throw him in with like some Stern Guard or something like that? But unfortunately, as cool as he is, he just doesn't see as much use on the tabletop as maybe he should, or maybe that he deserves. But anyway, that's all I have to say for now. I'm sure you guys have your own comments and opinions, so please leave them down below. Feel free to like and subscribe if you want, and I will see you guys in the next video.